Well, the Copa America gets underway this weekend. South America's top countries in action in their equivalent of the European Championships. It's often a highly entertaining competition. And myself, Warren Ashurst, and Tom Hill alongside me to go through our selections as to the teams to watch in the tournament this time around. Tom, firstly, we'll get a couple of favourites for both of us and an outsider. Who's your first favourite?
Can't look past Brazil, Warren, for this one. I think they are the giants of South American football. I guess for me, you've got to look at them and say perhaps the biggest team in form as well. They've been really successful. They beat Honduras 7-0 last time out, which is a fantastic result, albeit a smaller opponent. They don't have Neymar, which to some big Neymar fans is such a disappointment, but it allows others to step up. You've got Richarlison at Everton, you've got Willian, and of course, if Roberto Firmino can prove his fitness after the Champions League, then he's such a big player for them as well. They're around 6-5 to win the tournament. They are the favourites. They are, I guess, the big giants, but I guess it's whether they can click at the right time. I'm confident though. Unbeaten in 10 matches.
So on home soil for Brazil, Tom's first fancy. The last time, of course, that Brazil hosted a major tournament, it was the World Cup. And on that occasion, their major rivals Argentina reached the final, only to be beaten by Germany. I'm going to go for Argentina as my first favourites for this latest Copa America. Unbelievably, they've not won this tournament since 1993, but they have been in the final 4 of the last 5 occasions, and surely their time will come very shortly. They've managed, the biggest thing that they've managed to do is to persuade Lionel Messi to come out of international retirement. The Barcelona genius will be part of their squad, and it looks like a real attacking threat as well as ever for Argentina. Pablo Dybala and Sergio Aguero also amongst the attacking options. They do look a little bit susceptible at the back, I have to say, but in Copa Americas normally it is more of an attacking competition. Teams will go out there to try and score goals, and there's nobody better in terms of an attacking threat, from my opinion, in Argentina in this Copa America, and I do think that they could well be the ones to watch. 15-4 is around about the best price you'll get on them at the moment to go on and lift the trophy. It would be a real blow for Brazil to see their major rivals lift it in their own home grounds, but certainly Argentina have the capabilities of doing that. What's the other team that you're looking at as one of your favourites, Tom?
Well, you say, Warren, about your attacking output. I'm going to go the other end of the scale, and the most defensive team will probably be Uruguay. They've got some of the best defenders in the competition. They've got the formidable partnership of Jimenez and Godin, and for me, this could be a bit of a swan song tournament for these lads because they're getting old. They're starting to age a little bit, and they're starting to maybe move clubs. We've heard about the transfer speculation in recent months, so this could be their real chance, to win one more tournament together. They've not won it since 2011, which is a decent little break. But Luis Suarez is in the squad. He's trying to prove his fitness. He's had a couple of weeks rest after picking up an injury around the Champions League closing stages, and I just fancy that maybe he's got a point to prove. You're on about Messi, we all know how good he is. He'll be the one that's going to try and steal the headlines. But can Suarez nip it off his Barcelona teammate? If you fancy to get in the top scorer price, he's around 8-1 to be near the top scorer. And I just feel that Uruguay could maybe get towards the final and surprise a few.
Yep, Uruguay, another of our tips then. And our fourth favourite for this Copa America, from my perspective, is Colombia, and you could get a good price on them as well at around about 9-1. They were third last time out in the Copa America in 2016, and they've had just 3 defeats in 16 internationals of late. So it shows you that they're in good form going into this tournament. The top 2 in the group go through to the knockout stages. They're in the same group as Argentina, which also features Paraguay and one of the invitees, which is Qatar, hosts, of course, of the next World Cup. But you just have to look across their team at the quality that they have. Falcao still banging goals in around Europe as of high quality. Zapata up front, he's had a great season in Italy with Atalanta as well. And James Rodriguez, of course, fresh from a 2-year loan spell at Bayern Munich, is another one who'd like to prove his worth. Even at the back, Yerry Mina and Davinson Sanchez showed in the World Cup last year that they look really, really solid. And I have to say, Colombia at 9-1 looked like a great price to me. What about the outside bets then for this Copa America? Tom, where are you looking here?
For me, I just have to go with experience, and of course, back-to-back winners in Chile. I think it'd be a little bit foolish of us to try and overlook them. They're around 3-1 to reach the final. Now, if you maybe feel that they're not going to go all the way, I think that's a good price for a team that have been in there the last 2. and they've proven they can go all the way and be tough. The last two have had to go extra time, penalty shootouts, and they've held their own. The one worry to some would maybe the form of Alexis Sanchez. He's barely played, hasn't he? A bit of a forgotten man, really, in the Premier League. But he knows what it takes from this tournament, and what a showcase. If he's going to move this summer, what a tournament to go out and prove that you're still the man to deliver. Arturo Vidal brings experience, and it's the same sort of squad, really. They're all in the 30s. They've won the last two tournaments, and I just feel that we've got to have a little go on them, and they're 3-1 to reach the final.
Well, I'm going to finish off with a 25-1 suggestion, and that is Peru. Many people might be surprised to suggest that Peru could be thereabouts in the end, but they only lost on penalties to Colombia in the last Copa America. That was in the quarterfinals, and it finished in the third in the previous two Copa Americas as well. So they've got a good recent record in this competition. And like what Tom was saying with Chile, they have a number of experienced players in their squad as well. Not more so than Paulo Guerrero, who plays his club football in Brazil. So he knows the surroundings familiar to him. He's the captain of Peru, and despite being 35, still banging the goals in. He's got 35 goals in 83 international appearances. Guerrero could be a key man for Peru, and as I say, at 25-1, they look like a cracking price in the push for this Copa America title. So there are suggestions for this upcoming tournament. A real feast of South American football for you as well. As I mentioned before, Qatar are one of the invitees, as are Japan. So we'll have a little mix of styles involved in this year's Copa America as well. Should be a great tournament to look ahead to. Let us know what you think in terms of potential winners on our social media channels. Make sure you like our Facebook and Twitter pages, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.